welcome to another Doritos discussion. I know it's been a long time since the previous review, so there's a couple reasons for that. One is you're looking at a world record holder. Yes, and it's not for eating 8 pounds of Doritos in 6 weeks during the off season. Although you wonder what is the world record for how many eating Doritos consistently. I mean, you could do like a documentary like Super Size Me and eat a pound every day. I wonder what that would do to your body. No, it's for running and eating ice cream by yours truly. The Ben & Jerry's 4x4 world record. I own it. It's put on by the same folks that do the beer mile. They collect all kinds of records with different types of foods and drinks. In my case, if you want, you can take a look at the video right here. You basically eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, you run a mile, and then you repeat that 3 times. Anyway, the other reason is my assistant director, my daughter, has been swamped with 7th grade. And being a teenager, doesn't really want to hang out with her dad anymore. So let's get on to the review. Today, we're going to do a double review just to make up for all that lost time. I just couldn't not do a review after seeing a brand new flavor at Costco this week. Wild White Nacho. And another local Costco flavor we're going to do is Supreme Cheddar Cheese. So these are two different chips that just are brand new. I've only seen them at Costco. They really don't show up on even the frito-lay website. They're unique, so I figured why not review them. I don't know if they might be at your local Costco, but they definitely have been at mine. As you can see, they're the Costco size bags, which I love. So let's get on to the nutrition part. We'll start with, let me open the bag first here, and pull out with Wild White Nacho. Wow, it's got an interesting smell right out of the gate. Seems going to be tasty. They didn't have it up on the website, so I had to take a picture. You'll see here in the upper left that we'll be tracking all the Wild White Nacho review results. So this one is 12 chips for 140 calories. Let me get out the standard here so you can see what 12 chips is. Again, very interesting. We are again going back and forth between 12 and 11 chips. Set that back up there. And whereas the Supreme Cheddar Cheese, you'll notice, is 11 chips, but it's 150 calories. So we're talking one less chip, but more calories by 10. I mean, it's just all over the map with the Doritos. You'll also notice, I mean, a lot of you guys have been letting me know about Doritos coming out with a new Mountain Dew flavor. Like I predicted, they're just everywhere. And who doesn't love Doritos? I sure do. So let me get out 11 chips here. There's 11. Put that out there. So you can kind of see they're definitely you're going to not be able to eat as many chips, even though the size of the chips, if you look at these two, they're about the same size. So, you know, I don't know what maybe it's the coating that's causing the major discrepancy in calories here for such a small quantity, 11 chips versus 12. Speaking of that, let's move on to visual appeal. Now this is a great looking chip. I mean, these are nice and bright. They look a little bit like the nacho cheese flavor, but they got more orangish than the nacho cheese. I think you can really see the flavor on these, whereas the wild white nacho, I don't know, it's very plain looking. It almost looks like a tortilla chip. I guess very interesting in that regard. I don't know. I'd have to really. Personally, I like the look of the Supreme Nacho or Supreme cheddar cheese. So I'm going to give the Supreme cheddar cheese a 4 out of 5, and I'm going to give the wild white nacho. I'm going to give that a 1 out of 5. It just really doesn't convey anything about it. It just looks like a tortilla chip to me. As you can see, I've been wiping off my fingers here, but let's move on to finger coating. So let me move the bags out of the way here for now. Set them off to the side here. And move on to the finger coating test. Basically, single serving, see how our fingers hold up. Let me make sure we start with a fresh set of fingers. Okay, let's go. And here's our results of the Supreme cheddar. That's a great coating. I mean, that's not bad at all. I'm going to have to give that I'm going to give it a 3. You can still handle the remote pretty easily. Single lick and it's gone. So that's pretty good. Let me make sure the fingers are ready. Let's move on to the wild white nacho. And now if you look at that, can't get the quite zoom because my camera operator obviously is not here. But from that's a great coat. I mean, I could eat a whole serving and not even have to worry about even wiping my fingers and still be able to handle things like the remote, obviously. Got to pause those DVRs or fast forward to those commercials. So I think I'm going to give Wild White Nacho a perfect score, 5 out of 5. Now let's move on to the crunch test. Here's our famous Crunch-O-Matic. Came to me in a dream, actually. I've been waiting to try to figure out how best to, scientifically crunch chips, and this contraption you see before you came to me in a dream. So let me get the first chip going here. These are the Supreme Cheddar. And we're going to see how they do. That's a 15 right there. Now we'll move on to the wild white nacho. Again, they used 3 words on that one. Very interesting how they name these different flavors. Just not marketing, I guess. Because we got supreme cheddar, and then we got wild white nacho. So just white nacho. Wow, that is a serious chip. I think that's one of the highest crunch ratings we've had ever on Doritos discussion reviews. That was like basically almost about 17 ounces there. We're at 14. We got chips everywhere. And now my favorite part of the review, taste. So I'm going to start with the supreme cheddar. We'll go with that one first. Wow. You can definitely taste the cheese. I mean, it's just overwhelming. It's good, but it's, it's not got that kick that the nacho cheese that I like does. So it's kind of a chip that probably good for me because I probably wouldn't be able to eat a lot of them because it's just kind of just a cheddar flavor, not really any punch to it. Very mild, not even a sharp cheddar taste really. So I'm gonna have to give supreme cheddar a 3 out of 5. Now let's move on to the wild white nacho. Wow, that's a very interesting taste. It's kind of a light nacho cheese. I mean, I guess that's why it's white, light. But it's got a little punch, but not much. It's not as spicy as the nacho cheese flavor. Definitely not as spicy as spicy nacho, which, by the way, that review will be coming up. And boy, it's a doozy. I don't know. I'm going to have another part of another chip here. Yeah. Again, not my favorite flavor. I mean, it's right up there with Cool Ranch, I guess. Maybe they're about the same. They're kind of like they're more dull, bland kind of Dorito. I expect, something more punchy in the mouth kind of Dorito flavor. But, some people like a more subdued chip. And, these would probably go good with like a dip. I could definitely see scooping out some sour cream or some guacamole on either of these types of chips for that decadent dipping chip rather than just a bland tortilla chip. Come on. So I'm going to have to give a wild white nacho I think I'll give it the same, a 3 out of 5. Well, that concludes the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, feel free to leave comments below. We will do our best. Summer's getting closer and closer. Then my assistant director will be back. Hopefully I'll be able to get some of her time to really spruce up these reviews. Sorry for the no zooms or different camera angles on this one. But I wanted to get something out. And these flavors were interesting enough that I've just never seen them before. So until next time, thanks.